Hey guys, so today I'm doing something a little different. I'm potting up some Sequoia seedlings. Now I have two different types of trees here. I have a Coastal Redwood, or otherwise known as a Sequoia sempervirens, and a giant Sequoia, which is also referred to as a Sequoiadendron giganteum. Now, these trees are some of the largest trees on Earth. In fact, the Coastal Redwood is the tallest tree on Earth, and the giant Sequoia is the largest tree on Earth when measuring the thickness of the trunk and just the general mass of the tree. Now, both these trees are native to California. The Coastal Redwood is found along the northern California coast, so close to the Pacific Ocean at higher elevations. And the giant Sequoia is found on the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Now, both these trees are actually quite well suited to the coast of British Columbia in the zones of 8 right up to 9A or even 9B if there are such zones in BC. So I'm going to give both these trees a try. I'm actually going to give away quite a few to friends and see if they can grow these in their yards. I'm also going to plant a few of these in our forests and see how they do. Because of climate change, we're facing increasingly dry summers and wet winters, and we have several tree species here in British Columbia that are suffering because of this climate change. And one of them is the western red cedar. And because of the very long stretches of dry weather, the cedars are really suffering. So we're looking now to different types of trees for the future for this area. And these are two possible options. And in fact, the giant Sequoia here is already growing quite well in places like Victoria, British Columbia. There's a lot of massive sequoia trees growing there already that are anywhere between 100 to 150 years old. So we already know this one will do quite well in our climate. The Coastal Redwood is fairly little planted so far in British Columbia, although there are a lot of dawn redwoods planted. And there are some coastal redwoods that are growing in British Columbia. So the coastal redwoods don't like it as cold as the giant Sequoia, so they really would prefer a warmer, moist climate, although they've found to survive in British Columbia even when the temperatures go quite far below zero. The new growth, the tips are sensitive to cold. So occasionally you may get a little bit of dieback on the tips, but then in the spring they tend to come back. Anyways, I'm just going to pot these up in 1-gallon pots. I have, I believe there's 10 seedlings in this pot, which I'm going to separate. And there's 5 Coastal Redwood seedlings in that pot. And what I'm using for a mix is sea soil, perlite, and a little bit of bark mulch in there, and peat. So that's going to be the mix for these seedlings. And then they'll grow probably in the pot for a year or two, and then we'll plant them out into the ground. And then they'll probably take off growing a lot faster then. So here I've separated out the individual seedlings of the Coastal Redwood. And as you can see, they come in plugs. So the roots are fairly deep. They're about 5 inches or so long. So we're going to plant them up in these 1-gallon pots. And I have some soil down in there already. So we're just going to put them down in the middle of the 1 gallon pot, and we're going to mix in some soil around them. And you just want to make sure that the top of the soil is no higher than the top of their plug. So you don't want to bury them too deep. So just like that. And this mix of soil is quite nice because it's rich, but also drains well. So you don't want to have it in something that's not going to drain well, because these trees are liking the drainage for sure. And just like that. And I'm going to keep these guys outside for the winter, but if it gets really cold, I'm talking about maybe minus, well, let's even say below 0 for now. I'll probably put them into the greenhouse just because they're still young and tender. When they do go into the ground, they'll be a lot more cold hardy, especially the root zone, because they're no longer in pots. And they'll get used to the local climate here, hopefully. So that's the Coastal Redwood. And then I'm going to do the giant Sequoia next. So these are the giant Sequoia. You can see they also come in similar plugs, and you can see all the roots down in there. Very healthy looking trees. And as you can see, they have a different type of needle structure than the Coastal Redwood. So they're quite easy to tell apart. And also these two trees are roughly the same age. So as you can see already, they're staying true to their reputation of the Coastal Redwood growing the tallest and the giant Sequoia growing the largest. So you can see they're quite a bit of a difference in height to these, but they're roughly around the same age. So we're going to do the same. We have some soil down in the 1 gallon pot, and just going to put that seedling in the middle, and then we're going to put the mix all around there. And again, making sure not to bury it too deep. It's going to be interesting to see how quick these guys grow. I believe the giant Sequoia are quite well suited to this climate, so they'll probably grow quite quickly. The Coastal Redwood, I'm not entirely sure. It also depends where you plant them. If they have quite a bit of light and sun versus growing in the shade or having other trees around it, that might affect the growth rate as well. So I got quite a few of these to pot up. I'll show you guys the final product, and I'll do some update videos throughout the years of these guys and just show you how they grow and how well they grow here in British Columbia, Canada. Okay, that's the final product. So Coastal Redwood on the left, giant Sequoia on the right, roughly about the same age, so you can see the size difference of them. So they're now in 1 gallon pots, and they will be in these pots for about a year, and then we'll plant them out into the ground. So that way they'll have a more robust root system and will be better able to handle the winter and even the summer if we get another drought. So the stronger the root system, the better. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'll do some update videos as these guys grow. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.